Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. They'll run it now out of the gun. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. They'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll be stopped here well short of the 1st down at the 24-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. The field goal unit's going to stay put on the sideline. They're going to go on 4th down here. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a 1st down. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. This quarterback now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's 1st down.
Go! Hey, Delta.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. If you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Recon, 132 fighter.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He's able to get 6. A nice pickup down to the 21.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And this one is right through. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
As they come up on 2nd and inches.
Hey, exit.
2nd down and inches. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. That one a 1st down pickup of 8. Back to throw here. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Hey, echo.
We got 4. Mike 42, Mike 42. Here we go, D. Exit.
2nd and 10. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
A 3rd field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down.
Let's go, defense. Here we go.
80 weapons. Come. Fire.
He'll drop to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. Under a minute to play here in the half. Time for a late drive.
It makes sense when you think about it. Hey, try and get a field goal. Give yourself a lead going into the half. But if you're going to do this, you better have supreme trust in your quarterback. Supreme trust in the guy who's going to handle the football. Because if you turn it over here, not only do you go in down at the half, you've given the momentum squarely to your opponent.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Check 24. Watch 24.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. They were in the dime. They had 6 defensive backs there. So go ahead and throw it. He threw it, and it hurt him.
It's almost thrown into a blanket of coverage, isn't it? You talk about the best defenders you have are the defensive backs. 6 of them on the field. You're almost asking for trouble, and that's exactly what they ran into. Ended up throwing a pick 6.
Yeah, 6 defenders and 6 points. The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for 2.
Look at me, zipper. Now.
They're going to try and run. And he's going to go down right at the line of scrimmage. The defense left him with nowhere to go, and the try for 2 is denied. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
45, 45, Mike, 45. And we got to get to the ball, D. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving. 45 to Mike, 45 to Mike. And let's get that ball, D.
To throw on second down, Stanley. Got a man on the right sideline. It's Lawson. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. On first down, Stanley. And he's got his man on the out route. There he goes outside. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year as his guys have cut the lead down to 2. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And it's good to make make it 15-14, 1-point game. So we're back to a 1-point game now as the kickoff comes. This is taken at his 4. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Ready, hard.
They'll set up to throw. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. All right, Charles, as a former defensive back, how disheartening to actually catch it but just not be able to stay in bounds there defensively.
Well, extremely, because you know the rap against us defenders is that we're frustrated offensive guys who can't catch. And he caught it. Just couldn't get his feet down in bounds. It's that second part that finished off the play for him.
Picked off at the 35. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you want 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
2nd and 4. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
Pick your game up.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stanley. He made it fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out, and the Lions have recovered.
I'll give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but it's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field. And he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
Instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands. Guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now back to throw. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
So a little more space to operate now. 1st and 10 from right around the 12.
Hey, Haywood.
Check four. Switch.
They'll look to throw here. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
And that's his second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. They'll drop to throw. That is incomplete.
Let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle.
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Check 99. Big air.
He'll look to throw. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And to give this time to the tailback. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
What screen? 45's the mark. Check. 45 Mike, 45. I'm coming.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stanley. And he lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that. But the rushing game, almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents. Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. It was a solid check down there with pressure coming, wasn't it?
It was, because you're trying to go through your progression, and when you have that type of pressure in your face, it changes what you're doing and how fast you have to do your reads and able to come back and find him in open space. That's a really nice play.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play. And that's going to lead them to fourth down. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. They'll try and run for it. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration.
First down.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Recon, 152 fighter.
They'll keep it on the ground. McClellan. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
On 2nd down, it's Reynolds. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
Come on, set. 60 outlaw.
Here we go, D. Here I come again. Here I come again.
General West.
Wall.
Ready, go. Let's go.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
First down, Detroit.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Right. Clear.
42 is the mic, 42. 42 is the mic.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's the 2nd and 7. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. First down, Lions on a pickup of 13. Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this 4th quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. He will push his way down to about the 14. 4th quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They face a second down, but they are in field goal range. Here's 2nd and 8. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one.
This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
Mike 42, Mike 42. Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Bravo. Ready?
Dancing to his left. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
A good start to the drive. That's caught out on the left side. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Some good gains going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Mike, 45. Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go. 45's the mic. Quit talking about it and bring it. 45, 45, 45's Mike, 45. Check tight end.
Back to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11. Wow, a personal foul at this stage in the 4th. Hard to believe.
Really hard to believe, and now that glow of hope that you had begins to flicker out, doesn't it?
Yep. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.